What is going on, Coach Launch crew? Hello, hello. Beautiful, beautiful Monday evening here. And I am just going to share this very quickly into the Coach Launcher group. If you aren't in the Coach Launcher group, get in there. I mean, literally 6 units to help you develop as a new coach, yourself, your coaching, and your coaching business. So allow me to just find this real quick on the business page and share it directly into the group for everyone who's in there as well. And again, if you aren't in there, hop in there. Just put a request, literally type into the Facebook search bar, the Coach Launcher group, and that'll get you in. Hope you're doing well. Tonight, we're going to jam on the advantages of being a new coach and using those distinctive advantages as leverage in your business. So grant me one moment. Here we are. Share in a group. That's us. Excuse me. Beautiful. There we go. All right. So we should be in there now. And if you can hear me, let me know. Really would appreciate it. Let me just double check that I can hear myself. I can. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can hear me. So if you can, give me a holler. That'd be fantastic. All right. So you might be saying to yourself, Brad, what do you mean the unique advantages of being a new coach? This is one of the things that I struggled with when I first launched my coaching business, was comparing myself to the gurus, comparing myself to some of the more well-established coaches who had much larger businesses than I did at the time. And this even includes one of the first coaches I ever worked with that I hired to be my coach, was I would compare myself. And you'll get this if you oftentimes find yourself saying things like, I wish my business was growing faster. I wish I had their reach. I wish I had their training. I wish I had their money to invest. And you get into this habit of looking at coaching businesses that are further along than you and thinking, oh man, if only I was there, things would be so much easier. And I know this because it's the trap I fell into. But as a brand new coach, you have a distinct, unique advantage over not just some larger coaching businesses, some coaches with some larger reach, but even over some of the giants and some of the gurus who are coaching. So what does that look like? Well, if you're asking yourself constantly like, well, how do I get to where they're at? You might ask yourself, how do I use what is readily available to me as a new coach? Or an even better question is, how is being a new coach an advantage over being a long-term established coach? And let me give you some options here. This is what I did when I first started coaching people. I realized, like, I was following the Mastin Kipps, the Tony Robbins, the Brennan Burchards, right? The Michael Hyatts, you know, some of them are coaches, some of them are consultants. Lewis Howes was just, when I first started, he was just starting. And I was looking at them and trying to emulate what they did. And then it dawned on me as I started asking really powerful questions, like, how do I have an advantage over them? You know, because they were using expensive software, they were using lots of money into advertising, and I just thought, man, how am I ever going to compete with that? And then I began to ask the question, how do I have a distinct advantage as a smaller coaching business and a newer coaching business? And then my brain started answering that question. And so let me just give you an example. A large coach, a coach that has a business with a huge reach, lots and lots of clients, they're going to make the clients bend to their schedule. But as a brand new coach, when I was just first starting out with a small business, I didn't have a lot of clients, so I could meet with people pretty much whenever they wanted to. I would just schedule with them. If it was a West Coast client and they wanted to meet at 8 o'clock their time, which was 11 o'clock my time, or even if they wanted to meet at 9 o'clock at night their time, which was midnight my time, I would just stay up because I could. I could just do that. I didn't have a lot of clients. I had my couple part-time jobs, but I was able to be more flexible. If people said that they wanted texts every day, like is there somehow I could get like a text prompt every day? I could do that because I didn't have an established coaching business. I could do things that other coaches weren't doing or weren't willing to do because they were too busy coaching other clients. It was a distinct advantage that I had as a new coach. And you have some distinct advantages too. So what are yours? Well, you need to figure that out, right? Instead of looking at what makes a more established coach better than you, why don't you look at what makes you a better fit for some clients? If someone wants 2 calls a week, are you willing to do that? If someone wants unlimited access to email, are you willing to do that? When I first started coaching, I had a coach who was expensive, not nearly as expensive as he is now because he does really well. But at the time, he was expensive for me. And I would end up, I started my coaching business and kind of crafted it and structured it after his. And there was no emails, there was no texts. You just showed up at the call. And as soon as the call was over, you were done, right? And so as I started working with people, people would be like, hey man, like, I can't write this down right now. Can you write this down? And I remember saying that to my coach, and I remember my coach being like, no, it's not my responsibility. That's your responsibility. And I was like, okay, so that's how I have to treat people, right? And he would give me specific times, and I would change all of my life to make it for those coaching calls. I would literally take a lunch break 3 hours late in order to make my coaching call with him. And so I was treating people like that too. And it was a big mistake, modeling myself after a guru. The advantage I had that he didn't have was I could meet people at pretty much any time during the day because I was willing to do that, because I was a new coach just starting out my business. What are the things you can do? What are the things you can do? What are the measures you can take? What are the ways you can deliver a client experience as a coach for your clients that someone with a larger coaching business wouldn't be willing to do? In fact, if you're a new coach, I'm a larger coaching business. What could you do that I wouldn't be willing to do right now? Does that make sense? Let me know if it does. Hope you find this helpful. You're all wonderful. I know most of you are all doing stuff during the evenings, and so you pop on in the middle of the day. Had a quick moment. Wanted to definitely jump in. Everybody take care and have a great night.